We want to thank our amazing sponsor, the Rope Drop Queen herself, Michelle McKnight. She's a destination specialist with touring plans and can help you plan an amazing vacation. Whether it's Disney, Universal, a cruise, or an all-inclusive, she can help you with booking, planning, and strategizing to help you have an incredible experience at a great rate. Contact her today at michelle@touringplans.com. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to a bonus episode of Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug here in the Magic Kingdom. In fact, we are hiding away from some of the heat, some of the crowd. A little spot that we love. It's back in Storybook Circus under the big tent. Right now there's one other little family way on the other side. But that's what we're going to talk about for a little bit, is all the places that we have hid while on this trip and while we're with our families. When you need to get away from the crowds or the people, you need to sit down. Maybe you need to wait for family members to do e-ticket attractions. So we're going to go park by park, Doug. But you are kind of the master of hiding and waiting and finding these nooks and crannies all over the parks.
Yeah, when you don't go on all the attractions, you got to find a place to sit. And there's two things you're looking for when you want to sit. Shade, and... Okay, shade. That's three things. Looking for shade. It's a big key.
And benches. You don't want to be standing. And there are a lot of things we're going to mention you won't be able to find any places. But right here in Magic Kingdom, there are a few nooks and crannies. This one's probably the best, but it is the back of the park. But plenty of places to sit, chill, relax, some phone charging stuff. And some families like to come back here and do lunch. But where else do you like to go, Doug?
Well, this is in Storybook Circus Land, the yellow tent way in the back. They don't have the phone charging stuff as prominent as used to be, but you can still find the outlets that they don't really want you to find. It's not air conditioned, but there are fans. Like Derek said, it is the back of the park. So if you're waiting for people to get off Thunder and Splash in space, not very good. But if you need to get your kids off their feet for 20-30 minutes, it's a great place to go. You're not going to beat this one. Other options, Tom Sawyer's Island. It's a little quieter, not really places to sit. There's not much in the Magic Kingdom, is there? Shows are often like Hall of Presidents, Carousel of Progress are considered places to get off your feet, cool down. The other area right now, because they're not doing character meet and greets, is behind the Christmas store. There's a gazebo where Tiana and Naveen used to meet, and that's a little quieter. A lot of people don't realize you can kind of go back there. But that's one of the better spots as well.
I agree, because sometimes it's hard to get back to the resort. You have kids. Of course, all the parks have baby care centers. And if you need to find you find them on the map, and that's perfect when you have really little ones, air conditioning, great place to rest, take care of kids, all those things. But these are these are more for you and I. So when the adults need a break too, because adults, we rope drop, Doug, but sometimes we just need to get away from a little bit when it gets it's really hot and sticky out right now. Yeah,
and like this tent in Storybook Circus Land, it's a great place to like sit down, have get a fluid in you, like have some water, have a drink, just sit for a little bit, recharge the battery. It's better than a bench on Main Street, better than, sitting on one of the like boxes along Frontierland. Those are good too if you can find them. Right time of the day, they're in the shade. But this is by far and away, I mean, I'm sitting in a padded chair with armrests. Granted, you kind of look at the padding and go like, do I want to sit? But yeah, you do. It's hot and humid.
Yep, and a lot of people don't even realize it's back here. So you want to move on?
Yeah.
Let's move to Epcot, where there are a lot of little nooks and crannies that you can find, especially in World Showcase. I know my favorite is in Canada, backside, maybe because I'm half Canadian, but just overlooking the waterfall kind of gives me a little break. You can kind of go down where the Canada show is, places just to kind of relax a little bit. Plus, it's not far from International Gateway, so nice place to a little relax. Where else do you like to go in World Showcase, Doug?
Yeah, the options aren't nearly as great, but there's an area in Japan up near the counter service restaurant where there's some tables. It's kind of a little windy path. There's some trees shading it. Not many people go up there, so it is kind of a nice away from everyone. You might be able to find a table, because finding shade in Epcot is a struggle sometimes, especially around the World Showcase Promenade. So that is a nice place to go get up away from the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, one place I like in Epcot is you don't get a ton of shade. There's a little bit, but up by the Journey to Imagination, by the Upfalls area, and the water kind of spritz, and the kids can kind of get entertained with that, and you guys can just sit down and get some water and stuff like that. I don't know who's going on Journey to Imagination, and we'll go up that way. Maybe after Soarin', you just kind of go around. But that's a great place to just sit for a second. Usually not too crowded. Get away from the people a little bit.
Is that close to Soarin'? Are we close to Soarin' at that point?
We're closer to Soarin'. That's an inside joke from the trip, and someone listening to this will know that one for sure. So where else in Epcot, Doug, do you find a sit?
I don't know. They got rid of the best spot because it used to be kind of behind the character spot. That one hallway had couches. So we'll see what comes back. But right now, there's nothing really great. There's a lot of walls. Walls are not fun to sit by. It is slim pickings. There's the gardens in England. That can be good. There's some benches back there, the walls of the gardens to sit on. I think that's about it, Derek.
All right, well, let's go over to Galaxy's Edge. I mean, Hollywood Studios, because at Galaxy's Edge, there's literally nothing. We saw just bodies on the ground yesterday, and it was just kind of mind-blowing how many people were trying to go see Star Wars stuff. But there is no place to really relax. I guess maybe over by the store area. They had the rest area. I know we've parked our stroller there and kind of hung out for a little bit, but if you're looking to rest in Galaxy's Edge, might not be the best place to go.
No, there's one spot only. There's some steps between like Oga's and kind of the First Order stuff. That's it. That's the only spot, folks. Your best bet is to leave Galaxy's Edge if you need to sit down and rest.
Well, and Toy Story Land is not much better, also in the heat. So let's talk about where can you find some places to relax and get away.
Toy Story Land, they at least have some benches, but they're always full. So where can you go other than Pizza Rizzo's? Other than Pizza Rizzo's. Boy, I feel like I had a bunch in mind, and they're all escaping me at the moment.
Outside of Toy Story, you got that Joffrey's Coffee in those few areas, that DVC lounge right there, and you got some benches right there, right by the Incredible Stuff.
Yeah, well, it's not a DVC lounge, a DVC kiosk, yeah. I've lounged by it on the wall. Any wall holding planters and shrubbery back is designed to be a bench as well. Like when the families on Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, there's benches that line Sunset Boulevard. That's it. That's your option there. It's pretty chaotic, but at least it's a bench. Hopefully you can get one on the shady side of the street. The other good spot is the wide sidewalk on the way from Hollywood Boulevard over towards Indiana Jones. There's a lot of benches that line that along Indiana Jones and from Indiana Jones to Star Tours. And right now it's really good because without Jedi training going on, there's not mobs of children and their parents either. So that's probably the best area, and it's just simply a bench outside.
Not always great. Hollywood Studios, they want you experiencing Hollywood and all the things. So, all right, Animal Kingdom, where you can find all sorts of random places to hide. First off, not in Pandora, so don't even try to hide in Pandora. There's always just a lot of people there. But where do you like to go in Animal Kingdom, Doug?
So by the exit of Dinosaur, if you come out the exit, you go right. There's 4 little nook and crannies, cement U-shaped benches, shaded, fans, probably the best area there is. I sat there yesterday while you guys were on Everest. There's also lots of little tucked back little twists and turns where you can go sit. There's usually shade, but the shade only does so much because Animal Kingdom's at least 20 degrees warmer than the rest of the earth. There are still some of the old Discovery Boat landing sites that have some tables and chairs around the water. I think one in particular is between Asia and Africa, so that's about your best bet as well.
Yeah, right now with no Finding Nemo show, we've hung out there's a bathroom tucked back there, and I've hung out there with my little one before, so a place that, and no one bothered us at all. I don't think people even realized, until the Everest line gets back that way, when it got a little long, I don't think people realized it was back there. But anything else in Animal Kingdom you can think of that will get at least a place to get away?
The Nemo one is great. Even when Nemo's running, because there's a big wall that lines that from the dinosaur back to Nemo that has lots of shade. There's also, when you're coming from like Nemo towards dinosaur, you can turn directly left into the land and go under the dinosaur, or you can stay on the road and go to the right. There's lots of little benches and tables along there that are shaded as well. Leading from Asia, Nemo into Dinosaur onto Discovery Island. That's a pretty good area to rest. And it's amazing how many little tables and stuff are on that side of the park, when on the other side of the park, I don't think Pandora has a table outside of Satu'li's Canteen. And Africa, I don't think there's a table outside of the Don Bar and Harambe Marketplace. Harambe Marketplace sounds like a great place to go and rest, except like you get like third-degree burns from the sun. I don't understand the lack of shade there, but it is what it is.
There you go. Disney doesn't want you hiding. They want you out spending money and doing things. I'm surprised no one's come and kicked us out of here.
Yeah, we've exceeded our time limit for sure. We've seen like 4 different families come in and like sunscreen their children and then have a snack and leave in the time we've been back here.
And that's honestly all sometimes you need, and that's why you find these little hiding holes and recharge for a second and get going back in line to your favorite attraction.
Yeah, a recharge does wonders for everybody. Parents, kids, grandparents, everybody could use a little downtime. Even though you feel like you have to go to maximize your time, sometimes recharging maximizes your time a lot. Kind of like, why did Michael Jordan come out of the game for the fourth quarter for 2 or 3 minutes? Because after he got that little rest, he was that much better.
Yep, that's all we need right now is a little rest. Also, of course, you can get ADR, sit down. We've done that a few times on this trip, adults only trip. We found bars and little places to go, of course. But yeah, this is more for when you have kids and you don't want to go back to the room as much. But Doug loves his naps. I am getting more on board with the naps. I actually, for the record, was the only one to take a nap on this trip.
Yeah, I just sat and put my feet up. Never actually fell asleep. It was weird. I would now. Right now. I'm close. Very close.
But there you go. That is a little bonus episode of little hiding spots to go. And always just make sure you are resting and not pushing yourself crazy, or else by the last day, like we are exhausted. So that is it. We've been having a wonderful time here at the Magic Kingdom and all of Walt Disney World. I know our trip report just came out, so if you haven't heard that, please go back and check that out, and be sure to follow us on all social media. And it'd be awesome if you left a review on wherever you're listening to this. So for Doug and Derek, we're going to stop resting and go do something. I don't know what, but we have the Magic Kingdom to explore. Thank you so much for listening to Rope Drop Radio.